Hi guys, Sugre here with a new video. This video will be a Dragonflight talent preview video for rogues. I've made my hunter video as a part 1 because it will be a very long video because I want to actually give an idea on how you can build the talents to actually perform in PvP. I'm not the best rogue ever, so take my advice with a grain of salt, but I can actually like see things that are actually usable for PvP and things that are usable for PvE. So it's going to be very interesting. So let's start right away. So this is of course the screen for hunters, and I'm going to now take rogues. So you can also do your own Dragonflight talent calculation on wowhead. So please go on wowhead if you want to try. I'm gonna do assassination rogues first. There will be timestamps like in the hunter video, so you can see the assassination tree, the outlaw tree, and the subtlety rogue tree. So you will get Garrote as a baseline ability whenever you're going for assassination rogues, and you will go for evasion, of course, sap, of course, cloak of shadows, of course, blind, of course. Um, and then it becomes a bit more interesting. You want to go to the assassination rogue tree because you want those actual abilities or passives to actually be on your side. So you will go for numbing poison and then fleet-footed. Gives you more ability to actually run. You can go for gouge, but I feel like it's a bit hard to get whenever you play assassination rogue because again you have dots, so you don't really want to remove dots except whenever you are doing a blind. I'm going to play with rush setup because I want to reduce the energy cost for my kidney shots, but also want to have a shadow step because I want to have as many shadow steps as possible. And on the assassination tree, you have an extra shadow step, so you will have 2 stacks, which gives you more open opportunities to actually do damage. I'm gonna take prey on the weak because it's a 10% decreased damage dealt, so it's quite nice. Improve Garrote, which gives you a silence on your Garrote. Improve sap because you don't want to make it cost like per percent like any energy, so you can sap and then directly go onto your enemy. You will want probably the deadly precision, so extra generation on combo points, and then you will want cold blood. I'm gonna spend on tight spender, so you will have reduced energy cost on finishing moves by 15%, and then mark for death, of course. So we have 2 points left. Um, it all depends. I'm not going to improve my stealth damage because I'm not going to be stealthed all the time. It is more of a shadow dance thing. So I will probably improve my defensive capabilities. So I'm going for nimble fingers and an iron stomach. And then we can go for lethality because I want to have more crits and more crit damage on my attacks, like on my combo generation attacks. Vigor is a very good talent in my opinion, and then you can go for leeching poison, you can go for seal fate. So now you have an option. I prefer to play with deeper stratagem instead of Thistle but I can understand also with cheat death that's also very interesting to play. So you have a lot of options. Do you want to have like a 6 combo finisher with also marked for death, or do you think marked for death is enough and you can go for cheat death and then maybe find weakness? But I don't think you're doing a lot of physical damage anyways, so I think I'm going for alacrity, and then of course you can go for deeper stratagem or you can go for Thistle. Thistle is making a comeback, so it's very nice. But I'm going for deeper stratagem because it is more consistent. And yeah, you see, I'm not picking any of those last talents because I feel like assassination rogues don't really need it. You can go for gouge if you want, but then you are going to sacrifice any of those last talents that you have. It is very top heavy if you see what I mean. Like you have a lot of good talents that you can actually spend to improve your assassination rogue. Here, deadly poison, you need to take it. You need to take probably the Fan of Knights because you want that shiv. So I'm going to play with elaborated play plan. I'm not going to improve Fan of Knives, so I'm going for Shiv. Shadow Step, extra, very good. I want internal bleeding because it does a lot of damage. And you can also go for intent to kill, looks good. You can also play improved Garrote. I think I'm going for improved Garrote. So you have a lot of choices here. That's a poison that you can actually use to reduce the damage of the enemy. I don't know if it stacks, but 3% is really low. I would go for improved shiv. I would go, for example, here you don't play flying daggers, but I think vicious venoms can actually be very interesting because you will do nature damage versus persons that are actually affected by poison. I'm gonna play with this, and then I think I'm going towards sepsis. You see, there is no vendetta, so I mean they might have moved it or probably put it in the PvP talents. But for now, let's pick Master Assassin because it could be interesting to do a sepsis go again by vanishing for the critical strike. I'm going for that. Increase the duration of Garrote. I think it is good for PvP, but I think it is going to have a PvP modifier because it is going to be very long. The silence that can apply. So 6 seconds is very long. Lethal dose. You will need to pick it because you want sepsis. So I'm gonna take sepsis now. So Doomblade, of course, it is a legendary. Now you can use it. Carve a death mark into an enemy, dealing bleed damage over 15 seconds. While marked, your garrote, rupture, and lethal poisons applied to the target are duplicated. I think it's very strong, so I'm gonna pick it. Amplifying poison could be interesting because you want to maybe go for the last talents. So I'm gonna pick amplifying poison. I'm going to pick maim and mangle because I want to have more damage on my mutilate. And I feel like you're going to do a lot of damage because you are going to improve nature damage. Here's sepsis. Of course, a staple for assassination rogues today. Venomous wounds. I'm gonna pick this. I'm gonna pick also venom rush because I want to have as much energy as possible. Like the generation of energy is very important for rogues. And then you have a lot of choices now. I feel like the indiscriminate carnage is a PvE talent because you're going to apply all those dots on everyone within 10 yards, and you are going to break CC, like for example blind. So I'm not going to take it. Scent of blood might be interesting. Depends about the amount of agility that you gain. If it's quite little, I don't think it's necessarily good. If it's big, it might be good. So it's really a numbers game here. You can also pick Sanguinate, but I don't think you're doing a lot of bleed damage, but I feel like your nature damage is going to be the one that actually kills targets. So for now, I'm not going to pick it. You can also pick Intent to Kill, but with 2 Shadow Steps, I think it's going to be enough to actually perform well. So I'm going to pick Poison Bomb. It's still a big damaging ability. I'm gonna pick Dashing Scoundrel, so also increases critical strike chances of your poisons, because I want to have the ability to have 1 additional lethal and an additional non-lethal poison to my weapons. So now I have still 2 points to spend. We can go for the increased damage, but I feel like it could be nice with sepsis, because that's also a poison, right? Or is it just nature damage and it's not seen as a poison damage? I think it's poison damage, so it could be interesting to play with Zoldyck recipe and also with Tiny Toxic Blade. But I'm going to be realistic and see for myself. Look, blindside. I guess ambush could be interesting with, of course, sepsis. I'm going to play with Intent to Kill, I'm going to play with Sanguinate. But it could be also that my talents are not correct. I could go maybe more of the left side, and maybe these Dragon Tempered plays are not really interesting to play. But we will see once it's going to be live. But you have a lot of options here to actually change those talents up to be more left side or more mid. I feel like you can go more left if you really desire, but I think the mid side is probably the strongest. So let's go for Outlaw. So whenever you're Outlaw, you want to actually go more on the right side, because on the left side you don't really have a lot of good things. Of course, you're going to take Evasion, that's needed, and of course you're going to take Sap with Cloak of Shadows. You're going to take Feint, because of obviously Feint is a very big CD that you can actually pick with Elusiveness. So let's go for Gouge, let's go for Improved Sprint. I would say rush setup, why not? Because you want to kidney shot as much as possible, and also, of course, prey on the weak, so you have more damage. I'll pick, of course, Shadow Step, so you will have more mobility. I don't know if it's really needed, but I feel like it's going to be needed. Improve Sap, of course. I'm going to pick also Tight Spender, because you're going to do a lot of finishing moves. You want to actually spend a little bit less on them. Mark for Death is still very strong. I'm going for Recuperator, so again, they should have removed that conduit, but seems like they are not removing it. So now you're going to have obscene heal potential, and potentially healing a lot more than some hybrids. So we will see. I hope that a lot of hybrids are going to have good talents. Here I'm going for the versatility bonus because I don't think like I'm going to play an ambush build, but there is an ambush build that you can play on the left side from the outlaw tree, so you can pick. You know what? I'm gonna try to play the ambush build, but it's not going to be the meta. But let's play ambush build. So whenever you are doing an ambush, your chances to generate one additional combo point. So I guess it's fine. Acrobatic strikes, it is 3 extra yards of melee range that you can get, so it's very strong. You have 1 more point to spend, so I guess you can spend it on, for example, you can put it on nimble fingers, why not? So elusiveness, I'm going to pick elusiveness because it's very strong. I'm going to pick alacrity because I want to have more haste, but also deeper stratagem. I'm going to play also with echoing reprimand and also with resounding clarity. Those two are from the Kyrian spells from Shadowlands. You can play with sheet death, of course. You still have 3 points to spend. You can spend maybe on this. It can actually be very strong with pistol shot if you're doing pistol shot build. But I'm doing a ambush build, so let's do an ambush build with sheet death, and then of course you're doing a lot of physical damage, so this could be actually very interesting for you. So I'm gonna play with find weakness, causing all your attacks to bypass 40% of that enemy's armor. So you are going to eat like armor types really hard. So we are going to play with, of course, opportunity because I want to improve that sinister strike. I also want to play with adrenaline rush, of course, roll the bones. I want to have some RNG, restless blades. So OP, they didn't remove it. Loaded dice. I'm gonna play with sleight of hands. I want to play with blade fury. I want to play with between the eyes. Is there something else? I want to play with hit and run. So actually, you can do something nasty with Outlaw. I'm gonna show you. So instead of playing with Find Weakness, you can play, for example, Numbing Poison and Fleet-Footed, and then you have like a 30% increased movement speed. So that's quite nasty versus a lot of matchups. So I don't know if it's stackable. If it's stackable, I'm playing this 100%. If it's not stackable, I would just remove those two and go for Find Weakness. But I like find weakness though. But I'm going to keep it like that for now. We'll see. Cheap shot and gouge and sap no longer cost energy. It could be interesting. It could be interesting. Then you have like more energy to work with. But I'm going for a ambush build, so we need grappling hook. We will need retractable hook because you want blinding powder. Again, 30-second CD on a blind, which is super strong. So instead of a 2 minute, it's going to be a 1.33 minute. So it becomes that whenever you trinket the first blind, you won't trinket the second blind. So go for improved evasion, I guess, because I want to go for the ambush. So that gives you more evasion, but also more mastery man gauche. Ruthlessness, I'm kinda have to take. I will have to take it, but I'm not really certain to be really happy with this talent. But we need to progress, so we'll take it. Ambush supercharges 1 combo point. It is the same as the Kyrian anima charge, but now it's supercharged, so you can have some nasty things as a outlaw. Then you will have audacity, so half cost users of pistol shot have a 35% chance to cause your next ambush to be usable without stealth, and chances to trigger this effect matches the chances for your sinister strike to strike an additional time, so it's very strong. I'm going to play it with triple threat, so Sinister Strike has a 20% chance to strike with both weapons, and you will see that it's actually nasty because here you have hidden opportunity, effects that grants a chance for Sinister Strike to strike an additional time, will also apply to ambush. So here you have a 35% chance to hit an additional time on Sinister Strike with opportunity. Here you have 20% chance to actually hit with both weapons. So you will see the nasty things that you can actually do. Now we are going to be in the middle tree because we want still to perform also well in PvP. So you will need float like a butterfly. You also will need some energy regeneration because ambush is costly. You can play with deeper stratagem. Now the question is, does it stack? So you will have like a 7 combo point, or do you still have 6 combo points? I assume that it does stack, so I'm gonna play with deeper stratagem. Now I need to play with sepsis because I want to perform well into the ambush tree. And now we can take them by surprise, so haste increased by 20% while stealthed, and for 12 seconds after leaving stealth. So it's going to be really insane whenever you're vanishing, for example. So I'm going to take hidden opportunity. So we'll have like 5 more points to spend. I'm gonna play with, for example, blade rush because I want to be sticky. And now there's like a thing called restless crew, gives actually CDR per combo spent to a major offensive ability for your allies. That's insane. I feel like they should not have done that. I hope that every class has that, but if not, then it's going to be like Holy Priest all over again. So we'll see, we'll see. Um, I might just go on the right side for a bit. Because here you will deal more 50% additional damage. Half cost uses for pistol shot, so it's more of a pistol shot build. So I don't know. I actually don't know. I feel like I'm going to miss out on a lot of things, but I'm going to play like more of a defensive build. Let's go. So I'm gonna play with this Restless Crew, and then of course you can go like for one more point maybe in Dispatcher, but I will go for Fatal Flourish because I want to actually have more energy ticks, because you are playing with improved evasion. Whenever you are evading and someone is hitting you, then you will have a lot of energy to spend. So this is the outlaw tree. It might be bad. I wanted to try an ambush tree, but you can also go to the right and you play like the normal outlaw with, of course, greenskin swiggers, Fandy hammer. You can do the improved man gauche, of course. You can go for killing spree and have fun with dreadblades, for example. So there's a lot of good things for outlaw. I think it's a bit overloaded. So let's go for the subtlety tree, and now you will see the insanity that they have done to subtlety. It is actually too strong to be true. So I'm gonna take blind, I'm gonna take cloak of shadows, I'm gonna take trick of the trade, I'm gonna take shadow step. I want to have shadow runner, I want to have subterfuge, I want to have rushed setup, I want to have prey on the weak, I want to have garrote because I want to have evasion. Improved sap is going to be taken. Night Stalker is going to be insane because I think it's going to work with Shadow Dance. If it doesn't, then it's bad. I'm gonna play with Mark for Death. I'm gonna play with Tide Spender. You want more CC, so I'm going to take Gouge and Improve Sprint. So it's going to be insane. You can play with Recuperator, or you are going to make a Garrote possible. But I'm going to see first and foremost Recuperator. Why not? Now you have enough points to get cheat death, find weakness, and then shadow dance. And then you can also spend for more deeper stratagem things. So you can go for alacrity and then deeper stratagem. You have 3 points left to spend, and now it is super interesting because you have gouge, which is a CC. You have, of course, all the cheap shots that you can actually do with shadow dance, with your stealth, the extra damage that you can provide, but also now you can also go for the Geralt silence. So now you have a silence, you have a gouge, you have a blind, you have infinite stuns, you have a lot of good things as a subtlety rogue. I feel like it's too strong. So brace ourselves for PvP because this is going to be insane for a lot of healers to actually heal through. So now I don't know a lot of subtlety, but I'm not going to take the right side because that's all about Shuriken Storm and PvE. So I don't know if it's going to be any good. There's only one good thing about right side is the shadowed finishers, which gives you 40% damage as shadow whenever you're doing eviscerate, so it's quite strong, especially with your mastery, but we will see. So we're going to get a 2 shadow step build, so you're gonna be very mobile. Quick decisions because you want to have little to no CD to shadow step, which is strong. Veil touch because I guess you're going to do a lot of shadow damage, right? Ability costs 20% less energy while stealth, so it's the same as shadow dance. Improve backstab. because you want this. You want the cheap shots to be free whenever you're doing shadow stuff. So I guess if is weapon master even good? I'm going to take weapon master. It might be bad. Shot in the dark, and then premeditation, and now I'm gonna take with shadow techniques, which generates one common point, and then we can get symbols of death. You can go for gloom blade, but I think it's a bit of overkill. You don't need the shrouded in darkness in PvP. I'm gonna play with plant execution. I'm gonna play with Shadow Dance, so you have like 2 stacks of Shadow Dance. I'm gonna play with Shadow Blades, deepening shadows to get more Shadow Dances. Here you gain 25 energy over 3 seconds whenever you enter Stealth or Shadow Dance. I think it's a good one. Here, I think it's an overkill. I don't think you have place for that 1 point. We'll see. Here, without a trace, you get 2 vanishes now, like baseline. You get inevitable, which gives you extra duration on Symbol's Death. Why not? You have 2 points to spend, so I'm gonna spend on Stiletto Scaccio, anyways. And now you have like OP shit that they didn't remove from conduits. Vanish grants you a shield for 6 seconds, which is 30% of your maximum health. I mean, you're going to heal more than some hybrids as a rogue. So I'm gonna take it because it's busted, but anyways. Movement speed increased by 20%. Damage taken reduced by 10% whenever you gain stealth, vanish, or shadow dance. Yeah, man, it is going to be insane because you want to play with Shadow Mist. It is actually the Killian ability, but now for rogues like Outlaw, like Subtlety. So I'm gonna take Fade to Nothing, Dark Shadow, Lingering Shadow, and then Shadow Mist. Still have 4 points to spend, and you know what? It is enough to actually pick. Like we're not picking sepsis because it's not needed. You can pick Perforated Veins, which increases your backstab damage. Here, Vanish reduces the cooldown of your other rogue abilities, so you will have insane CDR again. They should have removed it, but they don't. Okay, and you have 2 vanishes, so basically you can kidney shot the whole team. It's going to be very insane. The Rotten. So now after activating Symbol of Death, your next Shadow Strike or Backstab deals 50% increased damage and generates 4 additional points. I guess it's free because again you will have like here 35% times 3 and then 50% extra. You're going to do insane damage whenever you're going for a Backstab. So yeah, this is the build that I'm actually making for Subtlety. You could go for the right side to get the shadowed finishers and then go for more shadow damage on Eviscerate. But it is very hard to get because you will need to have Shuriken Storm here and there. It is going to be annoying to go this route. So yeah, you will not have the AoE ability for rogues, but I feel like you can play without it whenever you're playing Subtlety in arenas. So those are the trees for Subtlety, Outlaw, um, and Assassination. You have again timestamps if you want to see those talents in a slower time. So this is part 2 of the preview for rogues and hunters. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that yet, helps me a ton, but also you will be able to check the upcoming videos that are coming to you. Of course, comment below what you think about the rogues talents, about the hunter talents. Are you happy? Are you not happy? Again, I feel like a lot of people are complaining about talents being like baseline spells that you had, but you need to see it like from another perspective. You are leveling through from level 10 to level 70, so you're gaining those talents to actually spend on baseline abilities, because those baseline abilities you don't gain it with levels. Now you gain it with choices that you can make as a leveler, like someone that actually began to play Dragonflight, that never touched WoW in his entire life, is going to have more choices, more agency to actually play and build their character however they want. So I feel like it's a big win. So I'm very excited. I can't wait to actually play Dragonflight. I hope I get the beta, but I don't think I will get it. So yeah, thank you for watching the video. I really appreciate you. I'll try to upload those 2 videos at the same time, but I can't promise it. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye.